Hey everybody, just kind of wanted to cover something before today's video. Today's video is my second response to Distrotube, but LinuxTube actually put out a video. There was something very interesting that he said in the video. If you all remember yesterday's video, I covered the fact that when I got the copyright notification on the video, I was actually up in mezzanine running cable. And he states that he and somebody else, Dragon Ball Jiu-Jitsu or somebody, had put comments on the video and that they were being deleted. Well, one, if you do put comments with links on videos, generally my experience with some of the people in my comments, that if they do that link, I'll always get a comment back saying, I tried to link something and my comment got deleted. I didn't delete these comments. And second, if you did put them in there without a link and I was working and then got the copyright notice, everything disappears. They take the video down. The comments are gone. That's why I stated in yesterday's video, I've got an email address. Just email me. Reach out. But this is what he put in his video.
So in all of that he just said, I want to address the fact that why did people go to that deep, dark place and automatically go to the bad thing instead of reaching out? Funny thing, Ebuzz, both Dragon Ball Jiu-Jitsu and I both did reach out.
Funny thing, the LinuxTube, the video got copyright pulled. Everything was gone. You can email me. I have people do it every single day that watch my videos.
We did. We posted on the videos.
He just said he posted on the video that got copyright struck and taken down. So how am I supposed to know that you have reached out? It's 2 plus 2. It's real simple. That's 4. If the video gets taken down, all the comments are gone.
In that one, the DT highlighted, I personally posted the actual ZD.net link in there. You removed it.
I didn't remove it. Here's what I got. When that video got copyright, I got notice of copyright. And I actually heard from the author of the article, Jack Wallen. When the video gets copyright struck and pulled, the comments go with it. What I'm saying here is, if that happened, all you got to do is grab an email. It doesn't have to get this big. And then to run across the community and tell people like DT that comments are being deleted. It's, but I have to admit, there's underlying things here that nobody knows about. I did a video about AI about a month ago. And he did a response to that video calling me foolish and I think ignorant. But either way, I wanted to touch base on that before we got started with today's video because it's my part 2 response. And I wanted to say something real quick. I forgot to include in this video about the store. I had a gentleman's agreement with people that I had products on the store with. Ben over at StormOS, Tech Zero over at Zero Linux. And I know Ben actually, him and his father bought some products off the store. But I didn't sell anything on the store. I think over an 18-month period, or it may have been a 14-month period, it did a whopping $212. The whole plan is if you were going to be a Linux distro or Linux developer, and any of the products I sold, I would send and split it with you 50-50. Well, I explain it more better in this video, so just watch. But I wanted to touch base on this because everybody seems to keep wanting to stir this pot. I apologize for it. I don't know what else you want from me. Hey everybody, hope you're having a good day. Just want to touch base on something. I did a video in response to Distrotube's video about my channel. I covered the plagiarism part. Today I want to go over a couple other things that he brought up in his video. One of them was my store, and he stated in his video basically that there were other people out there over distros that were upset that I was using their logos on products. Now, I will tell you this. I did not have one complaint. As a matter of fact, I had connections with 2 separate people, Ben with StormOS and Tech Zero with Zero Linux. And the agreement was I would put their logos on shirts, hoodies, stuff like that, put it on the store, and if it sold, I would split the profits with them. That was no big deal. But everybody believes just because you have a store up that you're going to make money. And quite honestly, I've been trying to delete this store for 90 days. Well, no, correction, 60 days. Because it's nothing but a time waster and a pain in the butt because it doesn't make money. As a matter of fact, if you go look at the store now, before it gets completely deleted, because I have emailed Teespring 3 times to delete this store, it still has my old logo on it. I haven't touched it since I switched my logo, switched my intro, and I just really don't have anything to do with it. But here's my point. If there are people out there that were upset at me, I never received anything from them. They never reached out. They never said anything. And I would have been more than happy to handle it. There was an issue at one time. Tech Zero was needing a little help. And he said, you know, what have we sold on there? And I told him I haven't sold anything yet. So that's that. It's a nightmare. It's a pain in the butt. It's not worth the time. Let's get to the next thing he pointed out. He brought up my thumbnails. Now, if any of y'all have watched my channel for any length of time, you know it wasn't always Ebuzz Central. It started out as mainstream Linux. And my first thumbnails were pretty simple. I'd just take a screenshot or a picture and just put some text on them. But then I wanted to change things up. So I started doing the black and yellow thumbnails. Now, if you notice, my thumbnails always coincided with, let me pause this and let me mute it because I don't want you to get blown out. And let's go ahead and let it play in the background. My thumbnails always coincided with my logo. Okay? Here's my logo. That was my old logo. Ebuzz Central, Reviews and Tutorials. So that means that if you go back, my thumbnails coincided with my logo. Now, if you go up here, I did change my logo. So let's go ahead and go on up. And there's my logo right there. So let's see. If you look at my logo, it says EC/Reviews and Tutorials. That's what my logo changed to. That's what my intro was. Just a little music with the purple background and white lettering. And my thumbnails reflected what my logo was. Now, it almost sounded like in his video, I was trying to steal colors of his thumbnails and steal viewers. Well, I wasn't. It went along with the logo I was using. And to go along with that, if you go up a little bit more, and you come up here, you got Nabara OS, Microsoft. Let's go ahead and look at something here real quick, shall we? Let's go ahead and open this up. And there's my logo right there. I've got the blue, the electric white, some light blue. And then if you go back to my thumbnail, it coincides with the color of my logo. Now, I wasn't trying to steal anything from anybody. If you want to get technical, you could say this right here, this looks just like DT's, just different colors. There's so many different things you could point out and say that it could be or couldn't be. And what I've actually done is I'm trying to wipe that all complete. I'm trying to do a different thumbnail for every single video so that way there can be no misconceptions about anything that I'm doing. Because it doesn't matter what I do. Somebody is going to say, your thumbnail looks like my thumbnail. Your video sounds like my video. You're this, you're that. There's millions of users on YouTube. There's no possible way that when you make a thumbnail that it doesn't look like somebody else's out there. That's just the facts of it. I'm not a thief. I'm showing you what I did with the store. I'm showing you what I do with my thumbnails. So if you want to continue calling me a thief, that's fine. But I just felt that it was responsible for me to respond to those other accusations in that video. If you haven't seen this video, I will go ahead and just link it at the end of this one, or I'll just splice it to the end of this one. So when this one's over, you can see my response to the other things there. So, and like I said, if you've got something to say to me, Distrotube, the Linux Tube, you're very active on Distrotube's comment section. You got a lot of things to say about me. Why don't you just reach out to me? We can talk. It's very simple. You don't have to be on somebody else's comments to get a hold of me. I'm right here. Hope you guys have a great day. Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day today. I hope your last 72 hours has been better than mine. I was hoping to get this video out prior to some things coming up, but it didn't. And it seems as though in today's society, when something bad pops up, everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon and pretty much attack you. So I'm going to give you my explanation of everything that happened and explain to you how it happened. And maybe in the future, when something like this comes up, you could actually reach out to somebody before you go on the attack and want to just smear their name. First thing I want to bring up is there was a video today dropped by DT over on Distrotube. Have nothing against him. I think he makes awesome content. And as you can see in his thumbnail, my YouTube page is there. And it says, is your favorite YouTuber a fraud? And the other one I want to talk about is Ebuzz 2, which is basically calling out Ebuzz Central, or Ebuzz, aka Troy Holt, as blatant plagiarism. The first thing I do want to discuss is about a month ago, I had made the decision that I wanted to start doing a little bit different content on top of my distro reviews, app reviews, etc. I have worked with a gentleman, and as you can hear me say, I worked with a gentleman for over 8 years in my IT business. Great techie, great mind, and he minored in journalism. And I told him my ideas of the things that I wanted to do, and he offered to me to do a couple scripts, see how they worked out, and I could place videos off of those. The reason I was wanting to get somebody else to do it is I am a single father of 5 children. Okay? That's not your problem. That's mine. I have to deal with that. I run 2 separate businesses. I run an IT business and I run a mobile promotion business for small businesses. Don't have issues across the board. I do business above board and work with lots of different businesses, and I work with a lot of different small businesses. But when you work with somebody for 8 years, you think you know who they are. You truly do. So I took him up on his offer. He wrote what I thought were a couple great scripts. You know, once you get done being dad, doing your work, coming home in the evenings, laying down a video, getting it edited, and then uploading it the next day, and you just, you keep going. You work. That's what you do. All of you out there that are listening to this video probably know what I'm talking about. Well, Wednesday, I'm in the mezzanine of a client's building running cable, and I get a notification on my phone. There's been a copyright claim on my channel. And I was froze. I stopped. So I opened it up, and it was one of the videos that he had scripted for me. So I immediately went through what was in the video. Maybe it was a picture, maybe it was something like that. I had to complete my work. And then I got a notification, or I got a comment on the video from Jack Wallen, who did an article for ZDNet. So I went ahead and immediately had to find out what was up. So after some investigating, I found out that it wasn't just one script, it was 2 that this gentleman that I had entrusted, that I have worked with for 8 years, that was a minor in journalism in college, that said he could help me out, had pretty much plagiarized 2 different articles. So the first thing I did is I reached out to ZDNet. I got in touch with Allie and Beth. Well, I didn't get in touch. I emailed them. I haven't heard anything back. And then I also sent a message to Jack Wallen. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. And I hadn't heard back from either of them as of about 2 hours ago. And I had messaged him Thursday. That was yesterday morning at 11:07 a.m., explaining the situation. And I heard back from him today. I asked him, the videos have been taken down. The person that I entrusted with writing those scripts is no longer employed with me, and that I would never intentionally steal somebody else's work. Never. That's not who I am. That's not my mindset. And he said he would forward the information to ZDNet, and I explained to him that I forwarded it to Beth and Allie as well. And once again, I do apologize. And he come back and he said, I understand. It's getting harder and harder to know who you can trust these days. And it truly is. When you have people that work for you, that you entrust to do things for you, they don't always have the best intentions for you or others around you. Now, if you've never made a mistake in your life and you've never trusted somebody you shouldn't have trusted, I guess you can stop this video right now. But here's what I do want to say. I'm not glad that this happened, don't get me wrong, but I am glad that this can bring to light of what's going on in the world today. Nobody knew what was going on with this whole situation. They immediately went to the bad part. They immediately said, this guy is this. They immediately said, Ebuzz Central's a liar, he's a scam artist, or whatever you want to say about me. I wanted to take my channel to newer directions on top of what I was already doing, and entrusted somebody that I knew for 8 years, was a good employee, was helping me out when I needed it, was a journalism minor in college, that somebody I felt could put some words together and do something, and then that trust cost me this. Now, I believe that Distrotube has spoke about this. I believe that the Linux Tube has brought this up, and I believe there was another channel, Ebuzz 2 is what it's called, and he shared a video for somebody else. Here's what I want to say to all those that are actually watching this and listening. I would never intentionally steal somebody else's work, point blank, period. And I find in a community where there's, you know, we always talk about how big of a community is, but at the end of the day, it is small. If something like this comes up, why wouldn't people just reach out? Why wouldn't they just say, hey, man, what's going on here? You know, inform us. But I can understand. You want to get that video out there. You want to get them views. I totally understand that. I have tried to be above board with everything that I do on this channel. A mistake was made, a mistake that I'm ultimately responsible for. The person that wrote that, I trusted him, and I promise you that will not happen again. There will be no content that's put on this channel that I myself do not script, or I myself do not just go along with the flow as looking at a distribution and giving you my own words. All I can do is say I'm sorry to the writers out there, and I have apologized. And Jack was really nice about it. He could have been really mean and ugly, but it's a situation of, in this world today, a lot of people that you get involved with don't have your best interest in heart. They're just worried about themselves. And I don't know what possessed this person to do what they did. I don't know if they thought once the channel got bigger, they could make some more money or this and that and the other. But really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The buck stops with me. So I'm ultimately responsible for the things that are put on my channel, no matter what I say. So I ask you as a community to forgive me. I ask my viewers to forgive me. I ask my members to forgive me. And all I ask from the other Linux YouTubers out there is when another content creator has something come up, before we go directly to that dark place, how about we shoot a message and say, hey, what happened here? Before we put a video out that could destroy somebody's channel. Because I would never do that. I promise you, you will never see that kind of content on my channel. I'm not a fraud. I've never been a fraud. But I am somebody that if a mistake is made and something comes up, I will own it 100%, no matter who's responsible for it. This is my channel. This is my content. A mistake was made, and I own it. So if you can forgive me, I appreciate that. And if you can't, I understand that as well.